We met in a small town here in Kenya called Kakamega, and she actually rented a house where I had rented, so that's how we met.
At first, when we met, because he was with his cousins, about 2 or 3 of them. One of his cousins is the one who's, kind of, making moves. But I was not interested. So when he came and opened up and pushed on,
So that's how we started rolling, There's a couple of people who are visiting from Australia. And, New Zealand, actually. And apparently they just identified her. And they asked her if she's married. She said she's married, but not
cohabiting.
She's just cohabiting with me. And they said, okay, first of all, for you to serve in the altar of God, you have to do what? You have to legally be married. They tell us, you have to separate. And that is 202. Yeah? And 202, we had lived together for about 1 year. And we were being told to separate from each other for another year. So April, we are told now you have to separate. And you have to plan a wedding in the same year.
Within 3 months.
Within 3 months. Yeah. So we separated. It was kind of hard for me because now I'm used to her being there. I come home, dinner is prepared, my clothes are done, everything. The house is just looking neat. My bedroom is okay. I just feel like I'm married. And then someone is telling you from nowhere that, you have to do what? To separate. But now, since it was now a calling from God, we had to adhere to it. We separated. And we started planning our wedding with no single cent in your pocket. So 18th December 2004 is when now we are planning our wedding, actually wedding. And in the same year, we planned and even got to see her parents. And even she goes home to see my grandmother. My mom was not there. My mom was in Mombasa. So she had a chance to meet my grandmother first and my aunties and my uncles. I'm the only child. So, they welcomed her. But there's always that push and pull. Is it the right woman for you? And blah, blah, blah. All those kind of things. But once you've made a choice, no one can stop you.
They came to my place back in Kitale, did the dowry negotiations. Normally with us, with my community, we don't allow the man to come and do the dowry negotiations. He sends his people who represent him, maybe the family members and some elders. So they came. We stay in a remote area inside there. It's called the settlement schemes by then, those days of the colonialists, called Nigeria scheme. So it's quite interior, and the roads are bad. So what happened, I had to go pick them to show them how to come to my place, because it was a different crew from the other one that had come. That car had a puncture 4 times. And there are no garages in between. No, it's shags. Yeah. So you have to get a border, and by then there were no this border of the motorbikes. They were the bicycles. So you get one, jump on it, go back again to the main road. Get somebody from a garage there, a mechanic. And sometimes, in fact, there was no garage around there, so you have to ask, is there somebody who knows how to make vehicles, how to fix a puncture? So you come back with him again. He's like, this puncture, we cannot fix it. We have to remove the tire and then again go back with it. We did that 4 times. By the time we were getting to my home, it was actually 5:30 in the evening. And these guys are supposed to leave back from now, interior of Nigeria scheme, back to Vihiga, which is farther. It is actually far. It is like from here past Naivasha, even close to Nakuru, So anyway, we started the whole ceremony at about 5:30. It ended at 9 in the night. And again, my community, where I'm born at, we cannot have in-laws sleeping over. So there's no way they are going to sleep there, and it's remote inside. I remember I tried to talk to my grandpa. He said, no, I will have to follow my traditions. These guys cannot sleep over. There's plenty of space. There is enough rooms. But no, these people are in-laws, so they cannot sleep here. We had youth who had come also, who had backed us up during the negotiations. These guys, that's the first time ever. I'm not pulling a one like what has been happening in the television, but they spoke to the tire, and we used the pump for pumping whatever pressure into a bicycle, and they told the tire it has to fill up. Whether it has a slow punch or not, they didn't want to know about it. And they were praying around that vehicle. You should have seen that. It was quite a sight to behold. And you know what? They filled up the pressure into the tire. And the same vehicle that had a slow puncher drove these guys from Naitiri all the way to Vihiga back into a place called Kima. And I'm told the owner of the vehicle never repaired it until 3 months later. And so from the dowry sitting, we went ahead with the wedding. Yeah.
On the very day, Saturday, on 18th, I didn't even have my suit. One of my uncles, where we were actually holding our meetings, he just took my measurements and he told me, you know what, I'm going to buy you a dinner suit.
Dinner suit.
So I said, if I don't get my suit, this is going to work the miracle. So I had a plan B. Plan A was now the suit, which was being ferried from Nairobi. And my cousin is the one who was actually in charge of that. And on that particular day, we had issues with vehicles. There were no buses ferrying people to up country. My wedding is today and is not still
in Kakamega. It's here in Nairobi.
And then we are in the house on Saturday at around 9. Is when he walks into the house. And he has my suit. And he has also other suits. So I just take the suit, I put it on.
By then it was going towards 1, and the wedding was to start at around 11. I was like, no, 1 o'clock, no, this is too much. I just turned back my veil, because I had finished everything and then covered, ready as in to go out. But when I realized that, I got so angry, I returned my veil, as in now to expose my real self. Go to the sitting room, I found some ladies back from our home. They had shielded the door so I could not walk out. I told them, if you don't want me to get out through, in fact I tried to push through. It was that bad. And then when they realized that, they told me, you're not going to go through this door. There was another door by the kitchen. I went down the stairs. When they were still kind of confused there, trying to argue what is what, I just went down the stairs through the kitchen door and outside. Before they knew it, I was outside already. I was at the car. I walked to the aisle and straight, he was already there because he came in, he announced for him to come in. So when I came in, there instantaneously joined us together immediately. We went to the reception. Funny enough, getting to the reception, there was no food for us. Guys had eaten the food because they had waited. They went to the high table, served themselves. There was no food. So the lady who was doing the catering tried to get for us the food that had remained on the soufflés. Unfortunately, some of it, the one that is down on the soufflés is kind of burnt and all that.
I learned a few lessons from there. That before you do your wedding, make sure you prepare well. And if anything, make sure you call the shots from beginning to the end, whereby you have your own money, you have everything set.
So I remember when we moved to Mombasa, it was a bit challenging for us. We had I may not mention names here, but just because of other people who might go through the same thing, we worked it out with him, I think. We did work it out. And we went past that, but that actually almost had us now do what everyone always wishes when they are at rocks in a marriage that is going for a divorce. A call comes in, as usual, and somebody is talking, and he tells me, you pick that call. Innocent, you pick that call. And when I pick the call, it's somebody else calling, blah, blah, and they're telling you, and not even telling me. They go silent. So, and then I think, why is she going silent? And I think I know her. What's wrong? So later on, she sends a text, thinking he's the one who has it. And I read the text, and then I show him later on. After some time, I talked to the lady. I told her what is going on. I thought she was an approachable person, but those are the mistakes we women do. You cannot talk to somebody whom you're suspecting is trying, or maybe they're having a relationship, or is trying to get maybe your husband. You can't talk to them straight. that is the worst mistake we can ever do as women. I think on my side is to ignore that person. You cannot pump sense into them. You can never. You're already rivals. And she's already on the defense. You're on the defense. So there's no way the two of you will discuss anything. But that's mistake number one we do. So I tried, but unfortunately, she calmed down. But I think she came back and consulted with the other people. And now insults started coming back. But with time when we both came to our senses, including me and him, we sat down. He came, I remember he came to Nairobi because I moved from Mombasa, came to Nairobi. We talked about it.
There's one policy which I've embraced since time I married her, that our bedroom is our court. And there's no judge. We are the judge. We are the judges. So you go, you sit on the bench and she sits on the bench and I tell her everything. I go sit on the bench and she tells me. She's the judge and I'm the judge. That's how we relate to each other. So basically that works. We don't always want that if we have a difference, yeah, we wake up, or rather we sleep without
with
solving it. That's how we work things out. And we never involve anyone else. Even, I can tell you for sure, and I can bet on this, even our best couple, even before she passed on, the best mate passed on, Caroline, there's no single day we have called them to discuss our marital issue. Never. There's no single day we have done that. We never involved. I always believe that I'm in this alone. So why involve someone else? That's how we have actually nurtured our marriage.